Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit. The Garden of Eden is one of the most beautiful places you will ever see. Out of the ground, the Lord God made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Sun shines through the branches to let all the leaves blossom and bear fruit. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. Inside the garden was a man named Adam. The Lord God took the man and put him in there to till and keep it. The Lord God commanded the man, saying,
"You may freely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall die."
Then the Lord God said,
"It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him."
So out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name.
I shall call you cow. You are raven. Oh my, you are very unique. I will call you serpent.
The man gave names to all cattle, and to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, took one of his ribs, and closed up its place with flesh, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man he made into a woman, and brought her to the man. Then the man said,
This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Therefore a man leaves his father and his mother and clings to his wife. God blessed them and said,
"Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth."
Now the serpent was more subtle than any other wild creature that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman,
Did God say, "You shall not eat of any tree of the garden"?
We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But God said, You shall not eat of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
You will not die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.
So, when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband, and he ate. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. Then they heard the sounds of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man and said,
"Where are you?"
I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
"Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?"
The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit of the tree, and I ate.
"What is this that you have done?"
The serpent beguiled me, and I ate.
Because you have done this, cursed are you above all cattle, and above all wild animals. Upon your belly you shall go, and dust shall you eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Woman, I will greatly multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children, yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Man, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth to you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. You are dust, and to dust you shall return.
The man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And the Lord God made for Adam and for his wife garments of skins and clothed them. Then the Lord God said,
Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever.
Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from which he was taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the Garden of Eden he placed the cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way, to guard the way to the tree of life. That was Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit, adapted from Genesis chapters 2 and 3. Cast in order of appearance: Renee Stockberger as the narrator, John Kenyan as God, Kolbe Foss as Adam, Megan Skoloda as Eve, Nick Bell as the serpent. A production of We Are One Body Audio Theater.